Welcome to another episode of What Works for Me, a podcast highlighting best practices in Christian schools. This podcast is produced in partnership with Lutheran Education Association. To discover how LEA supports Christian teachers and schools, visit www.lea.org. My name is Mike Sheeman, and I'm principal at Bethany Lutheran School in Parma, Ohio.
And my name is Rob Lunak. I'm the superintendent of Lutheran Neighborhood Schools here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This week on the podcast, we have Kirsten Nichol, the art teacher from St. Paul's Lutheran School in West Allis, Wisconsin. Kirsten runs what they call the Masterpiece Gallery, and that's what we're going to talk about this week. Kirsten, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody listening?
Well, I've been the art teacher at St. Paul's for the past 16 years, and I'm very blessed and privileged that this is a school that values the visual arts as well as music. And one of the things that has developed in recent years is a showcase of our visual arts that our students here at St. Paul's do called Masterpiece Gallery. And this school year will be the fourth year of us having this event.
Kirsten, that's exciting. I love that idea, how it's able to showcase the work that the students are doing. Can you tell me a little bit about the students themselves? Is this something that they look forward to? How do you kind of build the excitement with the students in a gallery like this?
Well, I think it's something that the students are very excited about. And now that it has become a tradition, it is something they know what to expect. They look forward to it. We talk about it all year long. And word of mouth has gone out to families and cousins and grandparents, and it turns out to be a really well-attended event.
Follow up with that, you said a well-attended event. So as the students do their art and so forth, what does that turn into then? Can you tell me a little bit about that event that you do?
Yes. The Masterpiece Gallery is a Friday evening, only an hour and a half, and during that time, students come with their families, and first of all, they are greeted by our wonderful faculty that we have here at St. Paul's. They're like the welcoming committee. And then they head into the gym where we have display boards all around with student artwork. And this is students from as young as 3 years old all the way up through our 8th graders. And as the event has grown, we've added some other elements to it. Like now we have activity tables in the hallways where students and families can gather and try making and doing things. And every year it's related to a certain theme. So as the year is going by, the students are already picking up on what this year's theme is going to be based on the kinds of art projects that we're doing.
Is the theme kind of a secret? Like if any of them are listening, would you not be able to tell us what the theme is?
Well, I haven't made it public to the students and families yet, but I could tell you.
I don't know. Only if you want to launch it here.
The theme for the 2024 Masterpiece Gallery is Sunny Days and Starry Nights.
Oh, I like that. That sounds like a lot of fun. And my kid loves space, so he's going to like that one a lot.
Yes.
That's really neat. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how this started?
In the days before COVID, St. Paul's used to have a spring fine arts event that was music and art combined. And then COVID happened, and we had to pivot because our school had protocols that didn't allow large group gatherings. And I just asked our principal at the time if we could still have the Masterpiece Gallery or have an event that just focused on the art, if families could sign up to come for a certain block of time, and that would get us around the protocols of not having a whole bunch of people in the building at one time. And he really seemed to like that idea, and so we tried it, and it worked out pretty well. But it really took off the next year when we were allowed to gather all together, because that's part of the fun of it, is for families to have fellowship and for students to be with their friends and just excited to show the things that they're doing in a large community gathering like that.
I think that's great, Kirsten. It's really bringing the community together to highlight and celebrate the students, which is really, I mean, of course, the core of what we do at Lutheran schools here. So, now, do you teach art for all of the grades across at the school?
I teach art to the students who are in first grade through eighth grade.
Okay, excellent. So, I'm sure the teachers are thankful that to have that prep time when they send their kids to art. Do you think this is something that could work in a school that maybe isn't blessed to have an art teacher? Do you think that the teachers maybe who are listening could recreate something like this collaboratively if they didn't have a blessing like you?
I definitely think so. And I'm willing to guess that some Lutheran schools are already doing something like this to try to showcase the the beautiful artistic work that students can do. And even if you don't have a dedicated art teacher, I think that classroom teachers can collaborate together to pull off an event like this.
And I like that you taking something that your kids are already making, and I think a lot of Lutheran schools they'd hang it up on the wall in the hallway, and they'd go, "Hey, look, we have our art up." But you've taken it a step further, and you've said, "No, let's open it up and let's allow everybody to come in and see it." And I think that's really neat.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like that. So, if somebody, let's say they don't have anything like this going on yet, and they want to do it, where would you recommend they start first?
Uh, First of all, don't try to go it alone. It takes it takes a lot of people. I have, and maybe another thing I would say is start small and don't try to do everything all at once. Uh, but start with just maybe art showcased in a single room, and that could be the beginning. But then eventually add in other elements like activity tables if you think that that's a good idea. We also have I have a teacher who helps me with the snacks every year. We offer snacks and drinks to the people that come. um, I also one of the things that I think is really helpful to me is some of my seventh and eighth graders who are in the National Junior Honor Society. They help staff the activity tables and supervise and give directions to students. So I don't have to be everywhere all at once. I can kind of mingle with the families and talk and other people are doing their jobs and I can count on them. So I'd say that that's a big thing to me is it takes a group of people. It's not just one person to make an event like this happen.
Hmm. Kirsten, I'm curious if you were to take what you have now and expand it even further, what would your dream be to add on to enlarge the event next time it happens?
I think that right now this is an event that is just for the St. Paul's community of families, but maybe it could even be something open to the whole community. Or maybe I would love to see members of St. Paul's who don't necessarily have a school connection with children in the school, but I would love to get them to come, to be involved, and to increase that church and school connection so that the rest of our congregation can see what we're doing.
I love the highlighting of the art here because in our world right now in public schools where we hear about things being chopped off the chopping block because of funding, as Lutheran schools we're saying no, we've got a rich beauty that God has given us in all these areas and you've enhanced art and I think that's absolutely phenomenal. One thing I don't know if you've explored this or not, but I have a feeling that your media would maybe latch onto that in a big way. And I'm wondering maybe that's something you could do next time too, is invite your local newspaper folk or media folk out to come and have a look at it because it's very unique. And I love what you're doing with that. It might be a way to even market the school maybe a little bit. I
That's a
don't know if you've
great
done that
idea.
before or not,
No,
but
that's a great
yeah,
idea.
yeah.
I can hear Jack already. For those of you who don't know, Jack Berkey is the principal here. Great guy. Do the other teachers look forward to it? Do they know this is coming up? And
They do.
yeah,
They do. And I'll say this. I think one of the other things that makes this a success is the timing of it. When we used to have our fine arts program in the spring, there are so many other things competing for families' time in the spring. But we've cleverly scheduled it to be right after the winter sports are over, but before the spring sports get started. So it's the second weekend in March. And I really think that that's a good time to have it because all of the basketball tournaments are done. All the spring things haven't started yet, and families have more time.
that's such a great idea because I think it's easy in a Lutheran school to just add one more thing and
Right.
one more thing, and then we end up with 50 things.
Right.
And then we hear, oh, we're always so busy. Well,
Yes.
sometimes we do that to ourselves, right? So that's great that you guys have scheduled that intentionally.
Yes.
One of the things we like to do is allow people an opportunity to connect with you. So we're going to include your email in the show notes if that's okay.
Okay.
So people, if they have questions about how to start this at their school, if they could
Okay.
reach out to you, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And then if you have any pictures that you'd like to share of other masterpiece galleries you guys have held, we can include those too.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Kirsten, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love your idea. And
Thanks,
I may
Mike.
very well steal it and put it in place here.
Thank you.
Kirsten, it's been great to have you on. I pray for you before we go?
Yes, please.
Okay. Dear Lord, thank you for Kirsten. Thank you for her gifts, and thank you for helping her as she works with children to express their gifts through the medium of art. Please be with her and the Masterpiece Gallery and the students that she works with. In your son's name we pray. Amen.